with the rock. You physically couldn't hold me, I don't care if you're pushing 40. You can never little bro me. You're on step like Ginobili, from young OG to the OG. From nosebleeds to floor seats, circle stronger than Cuban links. My gold dance, your gold plated. You verse me, now that's a reach. We ready? Who ready? We ready? Who ready? Who? We ready? Who? Who ready? Who? We ready? Who? Who ready? We ready, been ready. I waited, my turn, on God, held steady. I keep dropping back to back, I keep going if you let me. I've been sitting at the top, looking down at those who left me. Promise I'm not being petty, I'm the one they envy. Brody moving state to state, make $1 million out the semi. Plus I grinded from the start, I was stacking pennies. I might dip like Machiavelli, after the confetti. Who ready? We ready? Who ready? We ready? Who ready? Who? We ready? Who? Who ready? Who? We ready? Who? Who ready? We ready? Who ready? We ready? Who ready? Who? We ready? Who? Who ready? Who? We ready? Who?
All right, guys. All right, guys, this is Big Al, Alan Fiester with KO Boxing, breaking news, the greatest news channel for your boxing news. This is a live show tonight. We're going to start doing a little live stream. I'm going to come on for a little bit as long as somebody is there. We're going to be showing tonight on Facebook, on YouTube, and I was supposed to be on Twitter, but I forgot to pay my Twitter account. But so we're not going to be live on Twitter tonight. This is where I step out of my comfort zone. This is a live show for you guys to come on live again to share your thoughts on boxing. In the comment section, let me see if I can put the StreamYard link in the comment section as well for you guys to come on live to share your thoughts on boxing. Okay, there we go. The StreamYard link is up, guys. It's right there. You can click that StreamYard link. Come on live to share your thoughts on boxing. What I'm going to do tonight, just kind of like what we used to do when I got started 2 years ago, we're going to go through some of the boxing news. I'm not going to talk about everything in the boxing news unless you guys are welcome to come on and share. But I'll go through some of the headlines. We might mention something. We'll skip over some stuff. Maybe we might come back to it after we mention it. We're just flying by the seat of our pants tonight. This is the first live show in a while. There might be some technical problems. Got to work out the bugs with that as well. I messed up my camera using a different camera, but that's all right. We just got to start somewhere, just like before. We're going live. So I invite everybody to come on. First of all, I want to thank everybody for your support in the past 2 years. I want to thank everybody this past. We're starting to do YouTube, the shorts things, a lot of shorts. I'm getting a lot of views from those. We want to thank everybody for making the comments on TikTok, on some of these news stories. We want to thank people also on the YouTube shorts, leaving your comments. Also, if you guys haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe to the channel as well. But again, we got the StreamYard link up in the comments section for you guys to click again. I don't want to keep repeating myself. But hey, we're back. We're going to go through some of the things. If nobody shows up, I might not stay on too long, but that way you know we're going to try to go live at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time, definitely Monday through Thursday. Friday, probably not. We maybe go live sometime on the weekend, Saturday or Sunday. No set times for the weekend yet. Just keep an eye out when we do go live. As we get further along, we'll actually get some time set up for the weekend. But now Monday through Thursday, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time, we'll try to go from there. Unless I'm seriously sick or we're not there. So we're here, guys. We're live. We're going to talk about some of the things in the news real quick here tonight. Where am I going to start? Where are we going to begin? Some of the guys out there might not, and ladies might not know that we're back up live again. So that's okay. One of the interesting things that we're going to talk about here tonight, one of the first things, and I didn't have a chance to add any video or any video clip. This is just all what's in the news. They're talking about Crawford's kitchen strength impresses Torres Jr., who weighs in on Crawford versus Canelo mega fight. And we'll get it. And that's our first story we're going to get into here tonight. Tell us what you guys think. You can jump in at any time. The 2020 Olympic silver medalist heavyweight Richard Torres Jr. says he was impressed with the power of Terence Crawford when they briefly wrestled in Bud's kitchen a while back. They, I guess, had a wrestling match in the kitchen. Now, Crawford got the better of the 230-pound Torres Jr., who has 12 big wins, 0 losses, 11 KOs. The two fighters have never sparred in the boxing ring, though, however. The size and power of Torres Jr. would obviously be too much for Crawford, who recently moved up to 154 pounds and didn't have any pop in his punches. This is what they're saying, guys. This article is by Robbie Bennington. Okay. Again, he didn't have any pop in his punches, he's saying. Also, Torres says he's on Crawford's side in his fight against unified super middleweight champion Canelo Alvarez in September. Also, he doesn't say who he thinks will win, but from the sounds of it, he hopes it will be Terence Crawford. That's what Torres is saying. Also, guys, he says the heavyweight contender Torres Jr., 25 years old, is fighting this Saturday night, April 15th, against Guido Vinello. I guess that's that Italian fella, that the real big guy. He's 13 big wins, 2 losses, 1 draw, 11 KOs in a 10-round scheduled fight. It will be live on ESPN Plus from the Palm Casino Resort in Las Vegas. Maybe we'll do a watch party that night, but I'll probably have to work and go out and make some money, so I guess I can't do the watch party. All right, guys, this is not my full-time job. We'll stop there for a minute. Again, this is not my full-time job, so if you guys would like to donate, we're not monetized no more because I deleted our channel last spring and lost over 1,000 some subscribers. But if you'd like to donate, it's down there below. Donate to the channel at Cash App. It's $KO Boxing Breaking News on Cash App if you'd like to help out. Okay, let's get back into it. Crawford's power. They're going to talk about Crawford's power. Says, I'm Team Crawford, in quote, says Torres, but I'm a ride or die Canelo fan. But with that being said, I'm going to sway a little bit more toward the USA side. But I'm excited for the fight, in quote, said heavyweight contender Richard Torres Jr. to Sean Zeitel, leaning toward Terence Crawford beating Canelo Alvarez coming in September when that fight actually happens. Also, guys, Crawford is taking a big step up in weight, going from 154 pounds to 168 pounds. This is what everybody's been talking about or complaining about. Such a big jump. Let me get a swig of my coffee or something to drink. I'd like to know, everybody from Nebraska, what you guys think about him jumping up in weight. A lot of people from Nebraska don't think it's going to be a problem. But a lot of people in the United States throughout social media have been saying, man, it's a significant jump. I don't know if we can handle Canelo Alvarez. They say it's a very big task ahead of Bud because he just moved up again from that lower weight, 147 and 154, as I just mentioned. Now, on August 3rd last year, after sitting out of the ring for a year, this is another thing everybody's been complaining about. A lot of people, he's only fighting once a year. Well, he's just showing that he can still fight, even though it's once a year. Also, they go on, he didn't look strong at the junior middleweight against Israel Madrimov and almost lost. This is what they believe or what they feel. Now, Crawford is moving up 2 divisions to take on Canelo after a year out of the ring. He'll be 38 coming in September. He'll be 38 years old, Bud will be, which makes him even, it's going to be even a tougher fight at age 38, they're saying. Guys, tell me what you think about that. To a certain extent, getting older in boxing, we all know can help, but not when a fighter is nearing the age of 40. Father Time can possibly catch up with you, some people believe. Do you think Terrence is going to have a problem with Father Time? I don't think so, in my opinion. Okay, it works against them at that point. It says here in quote, and this is what they're saying today, it came out a while ago, oh, Crawford beat Richard Torres in wrestling, and I got a couple of views on that, end quote, said Torres Jr. I just want to point out that I didn't know we were wrestling hard. We were wrestling in his kitchen, and he said, let's see what we got. All of a sudden, he got a lock on me, and I was like, oh, it's over, end quote. As soon as he got that lock on me, I was like, okay, I'm done. So he's super strong, but we never got in the ring and spar before, but I love his defense for how he's able to manage that. Tell him I want a rematch when you see him again, end quote. I wish I had a little video clip to show you guys. I wasn't well prepared for the live show tonight. We're just winging it. Okay. But that's what he's saying. He's saying Terrence Crawford's pretty strong. So tell me what your guys' comments are. We're going to read through some of the comments until you guys come on live and share your comments on screen. Okay. What they were saying here tonight, some of the other comments. Bez Newish 223 left this comment about 2 hours ago. Crawford has a background in wrestling. I heard he was very good and could have wrestled the NCAA Division I if he had chosen to do so. He could have been a champion wrestler, they're saying. Wrestling is a skill. People with skill in wrestling have a huge advantage over those that don't. Same as boxers have a huge advantage when boxing a non-boxer, not rocket science, end quote. Let's go there. I'll give this guy a thumbs up for that one, guys. So there you go. All right. Okay, then Lou Dog also says, while a good wrestler, no, there is zero chance he was D1 level. At that level, you need to choose a sport. You're choosing boxing. Have you said that given his wrestling base, I think he would have been an absolute problem for anybody in the lightweight, 155 pounds in the UFC. And that's Lou Dog left that comment earlier tonight. We'll also go on. Rocky also left a short comment. Victor Conte is working his magic on Bud. Very funny, guys. That's funny. All right. Working his magic. Okay. Also, John says he left this comment about an hour ago. Something tells me this happens after his relationship with Conte began. Okay, guys. How about that? We left some comments. Anybody else? One more. X-Men. X-Men left a comment as well. He says, Madrimov said in the post-fight interview, when they asked about Crawford's power, he said he didn't feel anything serious. Is on YouTube. He says, check it out. Plus, Canelo has the best chin in boxing since Oscar De La Hoya time period. End quote. Okay, that's some of the comments some of the people left on screen, guys. Let's go back here to the next news story as well. Let's go back here, see if any of you guys left any comments tonight. I'm just going through some of the headlines in the news. All right. Again, guys, I want to thank you guys for your support. Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right. Yes.
We're just getting used to it, getting back into live shows, guys. Thank you guys so much. Thanks, guys. Also, we're going to talk about the next news article coming up. Okay, we just talked about that. Shakur Stevenson claims credit for Beterbiev Bivol, the second pay-per-view success. Come on, seriously, what the hell? Serious, Shakur? Come on. Okay, let's skip over that one for now, okay? Caleb Plant versus Jose Armando Resendez and Jermal Charlo versus Thomas Lamana, if I pronounce his last name correctly. Headline May 31st, PBC Championship Boxing Prime video. That's going to be coming up. Also, the next headline, $200 million, exciting, a Fury from his Gilded Age, retirement for a mega fight against Joshua. Let's get on. We have a lot of UK fans from Scotland. Let's get into this. I wish I could have shared that picture. It's a pretty cool picture, but I can't. Okay. All right, guys. Maybe I can. No, I can't. All right. So we'll get into this one. This is by Daniel McGlinchey. This article here, guys. Promoter Eddie Hearn and Frank Warren are still hoping to see a mega fight between former heavyweight world champions Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua. The tricky part is luring Fury back into the ring, which will be difficult after the way he once was mentally broken by the cruiserweight, end quote. Alexander Usyk last December, it's likely going to take a massive $100 million plus offer to entice Fury out of his Gilded Age Vanderbilt-esque mansion, is what they're saying. Okay. Even that amount might not be enough to bring Fury back for a fight against Joshua. I think that fight's possible. He might hold out for $200 million, which would be an insane amount of money for his current level of fighting. Now, Tyson is not fighting at high level anymore. He's not a spring chicken, looks closer to 50 years or maybe even above 40 years of age, they're saying. He's getting old. That's what they're saying. Both promoters haven't given up on the possibility of the Gypsy King versus AJ for the fight to happen. Unfortunately, guys, it doesn't look good. Alexander Usyk took something out of Fury, who is now 34 big wins, 2 losses, 1 draw, 24 KOs, with his back-to-back wins. Okay. Tyson went into those fights sounding cocky, like he could walk on water, but after Usyk schooled him twice, he disappeared into retirement. Come on.
Ahoy there, matey!
All right, guys. Okay. Well, he's always been cocky or always been arrogant or always been a good salesman, good showsman, talking a lot of shit all the time. But mowing millions they're talking about. End quote, they say, AJ Fury, who knows what the future holds, end quote, said promoter Eddie Hearn to DAZN Boxing when asked which fight he wants to see, naming the Tyson Fury versus Anthony Joshua all-British clash. Also in quote, they say, guys, the same answer. That's the fight that we all wanted to see, us, the British, and the fighters wanted it. But it's never too late. For some reason, it didn't happen. Who knows? If Tyson decided, if he's fed up with mowing the lawn, doing house chores, I just threw that in there, guys. It may happen, in quote, said promoter Frank Warren on Fury versus Joshua fight. Okay, so tell us what you think about this news story. There's a little bit more, a couple more paragraphs to go. Outside of the UK boxing fans, there's not much interest from the rest of the world in seeing these two pampered British heavyweights. They said pampered, guys. Come on, seriously? All right. Serious, come on, guys. All right. Pampered, I guess. Okay. These two pampered British heavyweights fight at this late stage of their careers. Even when Fury and Joshua were at their best, they were probably flawed. It's pointless now because the interest isn't there anymore. Joshua is coming off a brutal knockout against Daniel Dubois and hasn't beaten the good fighter since his victory over 40-year-old Vladimir Klitschko back in 2017. Fury's last quality win was against Vladimir in 2016. These two have transmuted their victories over a washed-up Vlad into a mega riches. They said mega riches would show the importance of matchmaking. Okay, well, that's for our fans over in the UK or other people like the heavyweight division. Anybody else like to leave any comments? You can. Again, we are on Rumble tonight. We are on Facebook. We are on YouTube. I messed up on the account on Twitter or X Spaces. So there we go, guys. Also, let's move on down the line. What else is happening in the news? Okay, we talked about that as well. Give me 1 second, guys. Okay, we also had a news report as well on Canelo's claim that Benavidez has accomplished nothing. What do you guys think about that? Do you feel that Benavidez actually has accomplished nothing? Also, Edwards, I guess, exposes Berlanga's money-driven fight choices, steering clear of Plant targeting Damage Munguia. Let's get into this tonight for a little bit, guys. Trainer Stephen Edwards says Edgar Berlanga won't fight Caleb Plant because he is in position where he's in a position. They're saying. In 1 second, guys. Okay, something happened here, guys. Let's go back. 1 second. All right, there we are. Okay, let's bring into this story here. We're going to talk about trainer Stephen Edwards of Edgar Berlanga says Berlanga won't fight Caleb Plant because he's, again, in a position where he can pick and choose who he wants to fight. He wants Jaime Munguia because he'll stand right there in front of him, and he's damaged from the bad knockout he suffered in his last fight against Bruno Surace. If I pronounce his name. His name is spelled Surace. Edwards says Berlanga, who is now 23 big wins, 1 loss, 18 KOs, won't want to fight Plant, who is now 23 big wins, 2 losses, and 14 KOs, because he would box him and use feints, and he's a bad style matchup for him. I guess he can he moved too much or maybe outbox him. This is what they're talking about, the $10 million effect, how it's affecting Edgar Berlanga's thought process. He feels that the big $10 million payday Berlanga got in his fight against Canelo Alvarez has put him in a position where he can pick and choose who he wants to fight. Berlanga isn't trying to take... Okay, you guys still there? Okay. He feels that the big $10 million payday Berlanga got in his fight against Canelo Alvarez has put him in a position where he can pick and choose who he wants to fight. Now, Berlanga isn't trying to take on any high-level contenders at 168 pounds. He wants Munguia, who has lost 2 out of the last 3 fights, Jamal Charlo. What do you guys think about that? Okay, now the 35-year-old Jamal is an ancient relic from the distant past. Okay, when dinosaurs roamed the earth before the killer 9 miles in diameter asteroid wiped them out. He has only fought once in the last 4 years. Now, Charlo's outside the ring lifestyle, as we all know, is well known to fans, and that helps Berlanga because he will be getting another guy who is less than 100%. Edgar's last opponent, Jonathan Gonzalez Ortiz, looked like a body double for Tyson Fury. Obese looking And it was surprisingly that DAZN agreed to have him fight on their undercard.
Ahoy there, matey!
Right. Well, DAZN does what they want to do, or a Matchroom does. Okay. Edgar Berlanga is in the privileged position where he can pick certain kinds of guys to fight. You see him aligning towards Jaime Munguia. Do you know why? He was just knocked out, said trainer Stephen Edwards to Mill City Boxing podcast about Edgar Berlanga aiming toward a fight against Jaime Munguia rather than Caleb Plant. Okay, we'll stop there. Do you guys have any questions? Anybody come on live? I guess not. Okay. The reason Berlanga is privileged is that he has a large fan base in New York City with Puerto Rican Americans who identify with him. Now, guys, Edgar Berlanga, they're saying Edgar isn't from the islands necessarily, but I mean, he's born in, he's from New York, but he plays the angle and wears their flag on his, as he fights. He likes being American, but sees himself as a Puerto Rican. A lot of Puerto Rican people from the islands might disagree with that. Spoiler, they'd say that Berlanga, Edgar Berlanga is a spoiled fighter. Munguia comes right at you and could probably be damaged from that knockout against Bruno Surace on December 14th this past year. That was a bad knockout. Berlanga, rather fight him than a guy, Plant, that is going to be moving, feinting, and using his reflexes. This is what his trainer's saying, guys. Those kinds of things, continued Stephen, about why Berlanga wants Munguia but not Plant, said Edwards. This is kind of long, guys. I'm about to fall asleep. Berlanga wants Munguia for 3 reasons. They're saying he's easy to hit. He's also chinny, knocked out badly in his last fight. The third thing, popular with Mexican fans. This means big pay-per-view buys and good money for Edgar Berlanga. End quote. Sometimes when guys get paid certain amount of money, they become selective. Caleb is a bad style for him, end quote, said Edwards. Also, end quote, he'd rather fight guys like Munguia that's in front of him, end quote. Now, Berlanga is what is considered a spoiled fighter. He got a big $10 million payday against Canelo Alvarez this past September, guys, and now he wants similar money every time he fights, even though he doesn't deserve it. Now, Berlanga doesn't want to return to receiving the kind of purses he got when he was fighting likes of Padre McCory and Jason Quigley. And how do you say this guy's name? Rumor Alexis Angulo. Terrence Crawford is another example. After getting a big payday against Errol Spence, he waited for an entire year until the right deal was offered to him against Israel Madrimov. He didn't want to just fight one of the contenders at 147 and take a giant pay cut. Now he's doing it again by setting out of the ring for another year to wait until he gets a big payday against Canelo. Okay. Once these guys get a taste of that huge dough, that fed you the money, the ends, they're no longer competing as they were before. They're just looking for a specific big payday fights, is what he's saying. Ooh, this guy's long. We'll stop there. That article is too long for me to read. If you guys want to check that out, I think I might have did a show about that. Go check it out. I'm not going through. That's too much reading there. Okay. Also, guys, this is what we're going to talk about there. We have the picture behind us. Let's pull Tank up here just for the fun of it. All right, guys, give me 1 second. We're trying to do things a little bit different tonight. Where's Tank? We got a picture of Tanks we want to blow up here tonight. Okay, there's Tank right there. Okay. Now, guys, what they're talking about here in the news tonight with Tank Davis, does Gervonta Davis versus Lamont Roach mirror an iconic rivalry from the 90's? Okay, we'll get into that. Okay, Here we go, guys. After delivering an extremely entertaining first bout, the public demand is at all-time high, especially now, as the fight fans want to see the sequel between WBA lightweight world champion Gervonta "Tank" Davis and the WBA super featherweight world champion Lamont Roach Jr. A lot of people thought Lamont Roach Jr. was going to lose that fight. And if you haven't heard, guys, that fight was a draw. On the night of March 1st at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York, Davis versus Roach bout got off to a slow start, but as both fighters got into a rhythm, the action picked up. It was a close technical match, but at the conclusion of the 12-round contest, the three judges scored it a draw, as I just mentioned. When the bout was first announced, hardcore boxing fans weren't too impressed with the matchup due to the fact that they felt Roach was a cherry pick. Casual fans embraced the bout primarily because of the Baltimore-Washington, D.C. rivalry. Now, guys, the champion, Gervonta "Tank" Davis, is a native to Baltimore, and the challenger, Lamont Roach, is from Washington, D.C., as you may know. Normally, a typical Gervonta Davis fight plays out like that favorite movie you watch over and over again. You know what's going to happen ahead of time, but you still enjoy watching it. Now, Davis usually starts off slow as he takes his time downloading the data in the early rounds, kind of like what Terrence does. Now, guys, he proceeds to stalk his opponent as he applies intense pressure during the middle rounds, and then he stops his opponent in the latter rounds. On the night of March 1st, as a lot of you seen, Lamont Roach refused to follow that game plan or that script. Roach humiliated a sorry, guys, they're saying Roach emulated a boxer from the 90s who also went off script. Back in the 1996, Mike Tyson defended his WBA heavyweight world title against the underdog challenger Evander Holyfield. Everyone anticipated a knockout artist, Mike Tyson, would stop Holyfield, but unfortunately, guys, for Tyson, his opponent didn't get that particular memo. On fight night, Evander Holyfield was poised and confident. Every time Tyson landed a significant shot, Holyfield provided an immediate response. Holyfield fought inside the pocket and earned Tyson's respect and went on to stop Tyson in the 11th round, as we all remember. Now, in the rematch, Tyson was unable to intimidate Holyfield, and out of frustration, he bit Holyfield's ear in the third round, as we remember seeing that on television. After being warned and penalized 2 points, Tyson got disqualified after biting Holyfield's ear for a second time. He must have been very hungry that night. Come on. Okay, seriously. But 28 years later, when Lamont Roach stepped inside the squared circle to face the knockout artist Gervonta "Tank" Davis, some people call him Little Mike Tyson, but most of the fight fans assumed that Roach would do well early, but would get stopped maybe in the later rounds going in that fight. Throughout the course of the fight, Roach was poised, focused, confident. As the fifth round was coming into close, Davis was talking trash while throwing 3 consecutive left hands. Roach responded by talking back and then landed multiple body shots. Seconds later, while the 2 boxers were involved in a clinch, Davis lifted his right shoulder up and hit Roach under the chin. Now, Roach responded by hitting Davis with a short right hand. At that midway point of round 6, it appeared that Davis tried to bite Roach's ear. Another Mike Tyson, but trying to bite his ear, I don't remember. And intimidation wasn't a factor as Roach routinely stood in the pocket and traded shots with Davis. Now, guys, a critical non-call occurred in the 9th round. As we all remember, Davis took a knee, which should have been considered a knockdown, but the referee didn't rule it as a knockdown. As the bout concluded, one judge scored the bout 115-113 for Davis. The others judges scored the bout 114-114. Similar to the Evander Holyfield, Lamont Roach wasn't fazed by being the underdog who was going up against the intimidating knockout artist. The only difference, guys, was Holyfield got the win and Roach had to settle for a draw. However, since he performed well and exceeded everybody's expectations, Lamont Roach should be set to receive a rematch versus Gervonta Davis in the near future. At that point, the question will be, guys, can Lamont Roach follow in the footsteps of Evander Holyfield and get a signature win over the world-renowned knockout artist Tank Davis? Okay, guys. I haven't seen anybody come on tonight to make any comments. I'm just getting my feet wet. I hope I'm not boring you guys to death with a lot of reading. Usually have some people come on, make some comments, and to share. The live show is for you guys, to come on live tonight and to share your thoughts on boxing. This is the StreamYard link to come on live. Okay. But from now on, guys, Monday through Thursday, 9 p.m., we'll be on live. Let's check out some of the other headlines as well. We won't read through everything because I don't want to bore everybody to death. Tim Tszyu meltdown. I was going to get rid of him. How arrogance led a KO disaster and the fight for his fighting future. I guess Tim Tszyu, they're talking about him in the news tonight. Also, Terrence Crawford insinuates that Manny Pacquiao used PEDs. A lot of social media, a lot of other podcasts, a lot of other news stories, they're talking about this here as well. Terrence Crawford insinuates, as we're going to mention, former two-weight undisputed world champion Terrence Bud Crawford was a guest on Pound for Pound podcast, and during his guest appearance, Crawford insinuates the class of 2025 Hall of Fame boxer Manny Pacquiao used performance-enhancing drugs. What do you guys think about this? Manny Pacquiao is recognized as one of the best pound-for-pound fighters in the history of boxing, as we all know. During the course of his 62-win career, Pacquiao was an 8-division world champion who won 12 major world titles. A native of Kibawe, I can't pronounce this right, Bukidnon, Philippines. Sorry, guys, over in the Philippines, I've pronounced that wrong. Philippines, Manny Pacquiao made pro boxing debut back in January 1995 when he scored a unanimous decision victory over Edmund Inting Ignacio. His name is spelled Ingnacio. 3 years later, Pacquiao knocked out Chachai Sasuke in the 8th round and won the WBC flyweight title. Pacquiao would go on to win world titles from 112 pounds up to 147 pounds. As a 147-pound fighter, guys, Pacquiao scored 2 signature wins, and he stopped Oscar De La Hoya in the 8th round in December 2008. And then a year later, he posted a 12-round TKO victory over Miguel Cotto. During his era, Manny Pacquiao, along with Floyd Mayweather Jr., were considered to be the top 2 pound-for-pound stars. Pacquiao and Mayweather involved in negotiations for a fight scheduled May of 2010, but the negotiations fell apart because Pacquiao would not agree to the Olympic-style drug testing. Now, the Mayweather versus Pacquiao fight would take place 5 years later, guys, as Mayweather won via unanimous decision, and Pacquiao would go on to fight 6 more years. And in 2019, at the age of 40, Pacquiao defeated both Adrian Broner and Keith Thurman. at the age of 40. Now, guys, on the Pound for Pound podcast, which is hosted by Kamaru Usman and Henry Cejudo, if I pronounced his last name correct. Sorry if I did. Crawford wasn't asked to name his all-time. He was asked to name his all-time pound-for-pound list, and Crawford surprisingly omitted a well-known name. End quote. He says, "I don't have Manny Pacquiao on my list," end quote, Crawford said. Crawford went on to say, "It's a reason why he's not up there, and you should know that reason," end quote. Former UFC welterweight champion Kamaru Usman and former UFC flyweight bantamweight champion Henry Cejudo started laughing because they knew the reason why Crawford left Pacquiao off his particular list. It was laughing, right? I was going through the news for this week, guys. Hope I'm not boring you to death. Okay, Manny, end quote, "Manny is a generational talent fighter. He's accomplished what no other fighter is ever going to accomplish again. But I do feel like he did it on he did it. He says, but I don't feel like he did it on his own," end quote. Crawford said, "That's me personally, for the simple fact when Floyd made it a point for him to do the blood test, he didn't want to do the blood test. But then when he did do the blood test, he haven't got a knockout since," end quote, was Terrence Bud Crawford said. This isn't the first time Manny Pacquiao has been accused of using PEDs. Back in 2009, both Floyd Mayweather Sr. and Roger Mayweather accused Pacquiao of taking PEDs because they believed it was impossible for a 112-pound boxer to go up to 147 pounds and have devastating knockout power at that particular weight. Now, this is what they're talking about in the news, guys. Okay. A couple more paragraphs with this story, guys, and we're done. This isn't the first time. Okay. After that, let me go on, guys. After Terrence Crawford mentioned how Pacquiao's knockout power diminished once he started getting tested, Usman made the point of the knockout power possibly diminishing because Pacquiao was also getting older, his age. Now, Crawford provided an immediate response to that theory, guys. He says, in quote, "Listen, one thing is for certain, two things for sure. What's the last thing that I leaves you with?" End quote. Crawford asked, end quote, "Is the power? It's the power. You may lose speed, you may lose athleticism, but that power's going to still be there. Look at George Foreman," end quote. So, guys, tell me what you think about that. Let's go through some of the other comments. Anybody left any comments on screen? Let's see if I can screen share these comments over, and we'll go through that. Give me 1 second, guys, and we'll do a screen share. Give me 1 second. Bear with me. We haven't done this in a while, guys. Okay, here we go. We're going to go through some of the comments real quick. Let me move the StreamYard link. Okay, there we go. Let me remove Tank Davis here real quick, guys, as well. I was just having fun. All right, Tank's gone there as well. Let's go through some of these comments real quick, guys. Okay, Fast Gary said, of course he says, of course he did or dad. Well documented, Lance was the biggest cheat in history and never actually gave a PO test. Well, he did, but the UCI covered it up with steroid cream false POS. He must be talking about Lance Armstrong. Okay, this guy wrote his comments like a book, like a paragraph long. I'm not going through that. That's too damn long. Postgrad says Mayweather said the same thing because he kept finding excuses to not get tested for PEDs. Of course, Pac sued him and eventually needed the money bad enough to do it and got embarrassed by Mayweather so bad he had to come up with a sore shoulder excuse. He got beaten so bad. Oh, I tore my shoulder, hurt my shoulder. Okay. Mr. Body Shot says hypocrisy at its finest. Joe Cool Perez Jr., guys. He says, ignore young Chuck. He's the biggest fraud weather groupie. He believes fraud weather is a TBE, says, is the TBE just because fraud says so, but never went undisputed. Starts laughing. 2 emojis. Too many quacks to protect that O with the thumbs up. Guys, so let's go on. One more quote here we're going to go through tonight. These are some of the comments they're making about this news story. Young Wiss says, left this comment a day ago. If you refuse random blood and urine testing, you are cheating. Simple as that. I agree with that. Let's give him a thumbs up. Okay, guys. Okay, let me go back there. I tried to give him a thumbs up and it came up there. All right. Okay. Okay. Then Mr. Peabody says, facts are like kryptonite to you. It's okay. Superman had the same problem. He was affected by kryptonite. Okay. These guys are leaving comments. They're arguing back and forth here tonight. Okay, let's stop the screen share, guys. That was good enough. All right. So I came on tonight for a little bit to do a live show, guys, to share what's happening in the boxing world, some of the news stories. If anybody sees this later, great. I hope you leave some comments. Tell me what you guys think. I'm going to go because I've been on for now 46 minutes. Oh, we finally have one person show up, and I was about ready to leave. Well, because this one person showed up, I think I'm going to stick around. Just one more time. Okay, if you'd like to come on live, so I'm about ready to go. If you guys don't come on live and share your thoughts or comments, I'm going to boogie on out. Okay, but that's the StreamYard link. If you like to click or come on live, you can share your comments or type your comments and we'll share your comments on screen. This is a live show for you guys to share. Okay, well, I guess not. Okay, we're out of here then. We're out of here. Okay, guys, give me 1 second. Appreciate everybody stopping by. That's some of the things that's happening in the news tonight. Just getting my feet wet. Again, stepping out of my comfort zone to do the live show, to give you guys an opportunity to come on and share. Nobody stopped by. I guess we probably won't come on live again until maybe Sunday. We'll see you Sunday. Enjoy your guys' weekend. Say goodnight to this pretty lady here, guys. And we'll catch you guys next time. And please subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Share your thoughts. Tell me what you guys think as well. Here we go, guys. We're out of here. Everybody have a good night.